was looking around for the AMS executive salaries for a story that I was working on, and I couldn't find it anywhere. It wasn't on their website, it wasn't in their budget, so I started looking for other student union executive salaries for other universities in Canada, and I couldn't find those either. So I started looking around for a list somewhere that I figured someone must have made of all of the student union executive salaries in Canada. And what I found were a couple of dinky lists that were just regionally focused, but no one had really done a whole kind of coast-to-coast survey, so I figured I may as well do that. What we found was that AMS execs are paid $32,500 a year. They are working full-time, and they frequently do pull more than 40 hours a week in the office, according to them. So that's the 11th highest out of the 16 universities that we surveyed. The highest salary we found was the University of Waterloo Federation of Students, where the president's paid $46,500 a year. The highest total salary expenditure, so for all of the execs, all their salaries added together, was actually at Concordia, where the individual salary is $29,000, but they have 8 execs, so their total cost is just kind of huge. To check out Ubyssey.ca, we made this fun interactive graphic where you can see the whole map of Canada with dots that reshape and resize as you play with the data, so that's very fun to play around with.
Jesus, Kate! News. In early September, 3 managerial positions were cut as part of a restructuring within the EMS. This sounds normal, but in fact the restructuring cut over 24 years of combined experience and the person most closely responsible for executive oversight. This was the second restructuring, but the first implied that it would be the only one that would take place.
This year, the AMS will be running a campaign lobbying the provincial government to make changes to provincial legislation that they feel will improve student housing rights. The RHA has decided against signing on to the campaign, saying that they want students to be able to make their own decisions. Following the Campus Security External Review, which was published earlier this year, UBC is creating a new position within its security department, the Head of Profession of Campus Security. This position will replace the Director of Campus Security.
The former Director of Campus Security, Barry Eccleton, is now a Senior Manager with the Department of Athletics and Recreation.
Ada, the little robot, is in trouble. Waves crash over her bow and lines cry out in the wind. A wave rises up behind Ada and she's carried up with it. Welcome to science.
Now read Harry Potter!
This month in science, we covered everything from UBC scientists teaming up with NASA to make space maps with lasers, using old chopsticks to create art, why the Vancouver storm was kind of a letdown, and the giant robot that lives in IKB. And have you ever seen the echo chamber on Main Mall? Do you want to know how it works? Let's go find out. Welcome to the echo chamber. The first thing you need to know about the echo chamber is that sound is a wave that travels through the air, compressing it. When you stand in the middle, and only the middle, you can hear your own voice echo back to you. That's because when you speak, your sound waves travel to the bench, hit the bench, and travel back to you. That adds the waves, making it louder. The thing is, if you're standing there and I'm here, you won't hear my voice echo because when my voice goes out and hits the benches, they bump into each other and cancel each other out. Echo, echo. Can you hear it? Of course you can. Come here, try it yourself, and you will though. Now back to the office. Go get your flu shot.
Welcome to sports. Alright, so this month in sports. Men's and women's soccer finished their regular season this week. Men's soccer finished as the table leaders for the Pacific Division. Women's finished with a 6-3-5 conference record. Men's will be playing against the University of Lethbridge Pronghorn, and women's will be playing in Alberta against the University of Alberta Pandas. Matt Huade had his one-day contract with the Canucks and got a lot of attention for that. The T-Birds aren't actually doing that good. They have a 1-5 record in the season so far, and they have a lot of hard teams heading into the future, and they also had a 9-4 loss against the University of Alberta Golden Bears on Saturday. So the Esports Association just opened up a new lounge in the Nest, and it's open to everyone. They also have a exhibition match against SFU next month, and they will be doing the ULAW championships in the next couple of months. Also, we have like a bunch of profiles. We have Jasmine Danda, Zach Verhoeven. Yeah, check them out on our website at ubyssey.ca.
Beautiful. Welcome to culture. This month in culture, the city played host to the Vancouver International Film Festival. Highlights include Moonlight, reviewed by Joshua Medicoff, Prison Dogs, reviewed by Jack Hauen, and Manchester by the Sea, reviewed by Miguel Santamaria. Overall, VIFF this year was a little disappointing in comparison to last year, where we had larger features from all over the world, including an impressive celebrity turnout. This year was quite sparse. And the reason for this is probably down to the fact that there was another film festival in New York City and London at the time. We sent a reviewer to check out the Wednesday noon hours concerts at the Barnett Hall, held by the UBC Music Department. These happen weekly and are open to all students for $5 a ticket. Last week, the Writers' Fest happened on Granville Island. I attended the introduction, which had readings from the author of Room. Andre Alexis garnered critical praise for his 2015 work 15 Dogs, which won the Giller Prize. And finally, Bachelor Daniel. Woo! We sent writer Sarah Neubauer to the Granville Island Strip to see Bachelor Daniel host Ladies' Night, and what a disappointment it was. The extent of his performance was ultimately waving a dildo around while women tried to throw rings onto it. Almost none of his performance actually involved stripping, just sipping wine awkwardly on stage instead.
Welcome to Opinions in Blog, where you'll read things you never dreamed that you'd be able to relate to. First off, in Blog, a UBC philosophy professor got a package of feces sent to her office. There's been a portrait of Dumbledore hanging in the Harry Potter room of Irving. And lastly, UBC Confessions is back at it again with a brand new page helping students find new ways to procrastinate. This month in Opinions, Ask Natalie helps out a first-year student who had alcohol poisoning on Wreck Beach and had to be airlifted out to a hospital. The question is, how is he going to hide the medical bills from his parents? In the Mind Your Mind column, an article addresses what to do in case of a mental health crisis. This article includes learning how to recognize the signs that you're heading towards a crisis, how to reach out for friends and family for help, and also how to seek professional help and support when you need it.